MarkRogersTV talking USC football. We bring in Chris Swanson from Trojansports.com. Chris, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Doing great. So this is definitely a program we need to cover and be all over usually. And certainly with the national narrative being what it is coming into 2017 and the expectations around Sam Darnold and company. So USC gets off to the awful start. They play two of the best teams in the country, and certainly Alabama being one. We know what the narrative was, finishing things off and taking out Penn State in the Rose Bowl. So, as I typically analyze these things, I think the national media runs with a topic and rallies around a late season performance and blows it out of proportion. How good is this football team? I know you can't nail it on the dot because there's a lot of questions there, but what's the ceiling? Is it as high as we think it is?
I think it is because I think Sam Darnold's actually a very special quarterback. I think that a lot of times, you mentioned the media running with stories. You see quarterbacks get pumped up a little bit. I think he is a special talent. He's, that potential #1 draft pick. So I think that he helps them have a chance to be really good this year. When I think about USC though, and I look at the roster and I think of the expectations for them to compete for a national title, everything outside of Sam Darnold, I'm a little bit concerned about. Their offensive line is kind of they're replacing 3 guys that started. It could be a mess potentially. The receivers, they're replacing a lot of receivers. On defense, the defensive line, they need to replace Stevie Tuikovatu. So there's some holes, and I look at the roster and I wonder, okay, is this a team that I would really think could go 11-1? And the answer, if they didn't have Sam Darnold, would probably be no. But he's that special, and I also think the schedule could be easy enough. We're not exactly sure how it's going to play out, but it could be easy enough where USC could have a really good record. So I think that the expectations are on point. Given the kind of player that Sam Darnold is and the schedule, I think they could compete for a playoff spot, but I'm not sure they're really that national title winning team.
Yeah, to your point, the Pac-12 could fall into USC's hands in terms of, I think the conference has taken a step back over the last couple of years, but it's still a very balanced conference, maybe the best in college football in terms of balance, but they're not being another elite team, at least in the South Division, for USC to have to tackle there. And with Notre Dame certainly being a wild card and UCLA to a lesser extent, it could fall in their favor. Texas, another wild card, top 25 projection, but nowhere close to that in the last few years.